Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RPGs with Paddy. I'm Paddy. I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything, but as promised, I'm back now in the summer. I originally said I would be coming back with Cthulhu by Gaslight, but I'm going to squeeze a small project in first. So this mini-series is going to look at the really excellent work of
Zgrozy.
I'll see if I'm saying that right. But anyway, they publish really top-notch Call of Cthulhu supplements over on Drivethrurpg. It's a Polish company, and they publish everything in Polish, but they're translating a lot of it over to English, and it is great. Right now, they are having a sale of 5 of their scenarios at 50% off. And the proceeds from that will go towards helping them get back on their feet and producing a print-on-demand anthology of these Zgrozy supplements. So get on over and support them now. Links are in the description, but this is not a sponsored review. I just really like their stuff. This 50% off is not for all of their supplements, but I'll be reviewing the ones that are on sale. And the sale will last until the end of August. If you're watching this after August, probably you have to click on the second link, which will just give you to the lead you to the full price one. Okay. Today we're going to be looking at the Shepherd of Moths, and this is actually the first scenario released by
Zgrozy.
And a number of people have gone missing, and the players have to find out what's going on through investigation before having to make a difficult decision. The scenario also introduces a new mythos creature, the titular Shepherd of Moths, and plenty of hooks to get the investigators involved. This can easily be placed in any location and at any time period as well. So if you're a player or considering playing this, then please stop here because there will be spoilers. But if you're a GM and looking to find out a little bit more, let's get into it.
Zgrozy.
First, as explained here in this scenario, most
Zgrozy.
scenarios follow a clear layout for the keeper to read through, which starts with background, which is secret keeper information, hooks to get the PCs involved, plot, which is the main story, and investigation, so different ways that the mystery can be solved or investigated for the players. So this is a very nice clear layout that makes it easy for the keeper, but it still leaves the scenario open-ended for the players how they want to progress through the story. So in the background, 3 religious scholars have discovered the legend of the Shepherd of Moths, who basically comes to Earth, turns a certain number of people into moths, and then once it has enough followers, it will carry them on a journey across the cosmos before returning them to Earth. Upon return, they will be transformed back into their original form. The strong-willed among these will become enlightened, and the weak ones will have experienced sanity-shattering things, so they will become deranged. The 3 scholars are Ludwig, Franz, and Alfred. And so they find the ritual, but they promise never to use it. But, of course, Ludwig and all of the papers associated with it disappear. Alfred and Franz then realize that Ludwig has performed the summoning, and they have to act now. But they have different opinions as well. Franz wants to destroy the Shepherd of Moths so more innocents will be spared this experience. Alfred, however, wants to gather the required number of people or victims quickly so that the shepherd and all of the moths can go on this journey and Ludwig will come back enlightened. This causes a bit of a split in the friendship as each of them tries to follow their own solution. Meanwhile, the Shepherd of Moth has claimed not only Ludwig, but several other victims as well. But from all appearances, those victims look to just have disappeared, but in reality, they have been transformed into moths. So now we'll move on to the hooks for the players to get involved. It's recommended that the investigators know the 3 professors, or at least some of them. They could be students, colleagues, personal friends, academic rivals, anything like that. But there are also some other hooks suggested, and these can be combined as well. Maybe the investigators could be working with the police looking into the disappearances, or paid as private investigators for the family of one of the missing. Alternatively, Ludwig may have written them a message before he performed the ritual, if he trusts any of the investigators enough. The investigators could need some information from Ludwig, which brings them into the scenario because now he's missing. The person who they need information from is gone. That brings them in nicely. Or if none of those suit, then the players could be seeing visions. And so this is the Shepherd of Moths calling out to sensitive minds, very much like Cthulhu did in the Call of Cthulhu story. And just now I'm going to show the art, if I can find it, of Francois Barringer, who beautifully illustrated some of Lovecraft's stories. So there is also a cool blurred image in this PDF that you can show to the players of what a vague vision of this creature might be like. One thing to remember is that if the players choose to destroy the shepherd in the end, those who are taken can never be returned to their real form. They will remain as moths or possibly die. So it's really good idea to have strong connections with those who are taken or with the family of one of the missing. And that way it makes it a really tough dilemma for the investigators to decide, what should we do? Should we destroy this and end the madness now, or should we let it kind of gather more victims and run its course and hope that people come back sane? So that's the big dilemma here. So basically, I won't give you all of the information of the scenario. You should go and buy the very cheap PDF. But we are going to look at the shepherd. Basically, it turns people into moths, and they are then drawn to the cold energy radiating from the shepherd. Once it has gathered enough victims, it will fly into space, and it will travel across the cosmos before returning in the space of just a couple of Earth hours. Then the moths will slowly turn back into humans, but they may be hopelessly insane after seeing everything that they've seen. So the way that the shepherd turns people into moths is using an opposed POW roll. And its POW is 160, so it's going to be winning most of the time, if not all of the time. It takes half damage from normal weapons, but double damage from fire. And Franz, one of the professors, knows this, and he's planning on using fire to destroy it. In one of the forums talking about this scenario, someone thought that the shepherd would be quite weak, having only 19 hit points. But realistically, it has 38 hit points against standard weapons. And if the players have done good enough research or investigation that they will know it's weak against fire, then that's just kind of like rewarding good investigation, good role-playing as well. But the main point here is that the horror of this campaign is not so much killing the shepherd, it's the tough decision about whether to destroy it and then curse or abandon all of the current victims. So in a final showdown, it's so much better if someone close to the investigators has been taken. And, maybe that could even cause a rift in the party about what to do, much like it broke up the friendship of Franz and Alfred. Now, if one of the investigators is taken, which, if they come face to face with the shepherd and it's incredibly strong power rating, then it's relatively likely. But if one of the investigators is taken, then they can go on the journey, and there are some tips given on how the keeper can kind of create the feeling of this as well. But basically, they are a moth at the time, so they don't really understand it. It's when they come back to Earth and they get transformed back into humans that after this they start to have different visions at irregular intervals. And these visions will increase their Cthulhu mythos, but also cause increased loss of sanity. And as the scenario here says, this is a great way to introduce new scenario hooks as well, because the player could have been exposed to any number of weird mythos things while out there, and that could lead into any number of scenarios there. So in the provided scenario, there are 5 visions given, but there are also a further 9 fan-submitted ones at the back of the scenario as well. And of course, the keeper is free to create their own ones and think about what would tie in well with future scenarios. The visions are all memories of this journey that they had. And the 5 provided start off relatively tame and then progress to, more mythos-related things. But it's up to the keeper to adapt them. I particularly like vision number 4. But I also think that vision number 5 would have a great connection to Missed Jews, which is the scenario from the Call of Cthulhu Keeper screen pack as well. The 9 submitted by the readers were written with incomplete information, so they didn't know the full scenario yet. But I don't think that really affects them. I think they all fit in quite well. They're all very nice visions, and of course by that I mean horrific visions. But even if you don't use them like that, it will give you some inspiration about how to either adapt these visions to your group or to come up with your own ones. The great thing is that you can constantly change these as well. The visions won't end. Most of the visions won't really occur even in this scenario, but more as you progress through your campaign. So the afflicted people, be they investigators or NPCs, will have these strange visions. So you can keep them as clear or as vague as you like to fit your playstyle. But after that, we get a short description of the current victims that the shepherd has already taken and future victims, so the keeper can really know how to hook the players in there. We also get information, just a little bit of information about a few other key characters, and then we move on to the investigation section, which talks about the different people you can interview and the different locations you can visit, like the professor's offices and the local woods and what you would find there. So that's basically the scenario. I really love it because to me, it captures the essence of Lovecraftian horror. It's not all about destroying these horrific creatures and monsters with tentacles, which I think is often how Lovecraft is portrayed in the media. But it's about our irrational need for knowledge and answers, and that's almost always our downfall in Lovecraftian stories, is that we need to find reason in the world and in the universe. And this, of course, is personified by Ludwig, who knows, and he agreed with his friends, we shouldn't perform this ritual. But he can't pass up the chance for more knowledge. Equally, for your players, can they rob mankind of that chance of more knowledge by destroying the creature? Equally, could they sacrifice themselves to reach the quota so that no one else has to be transformed? And can they kill the innocent? Well, essentially kill them, leave them as moths forever. Can they kill those innocent people that have already been captured to protect more people? So there's a lot of strange dilemmas here, difficult dilemmas, but also it really talks about that thirst, that need for extra knowledge that we know, this is a dangerous thing, this is a stupid thing, we shouldn't keep digging, but we do. So there is also a really nice, interesting twist at the end that you can do. If you're particularly sadistic or of a Delta Green kind of nihilistic persuasion, when the Shepherd of Moths, if the Shepherd of Moths goes out and comes back, it doesn't say anywhere that it will now, return off to space or return to wherever it was before it was summoned with the ritual. It could just keep going to different locations and keep capturing more people wherever it goes. And that's discussed a little bit here. But anyway, there is a lot of choice here, and it's up to you and your players. But I think you should make it a hard decision for them. Players always want to know more. And if you have people who are close to them captured, then that will make make the decision a lot more difficult as well. I think it's a really great short scenario that can lay a lot of the groundwork for any kind of future scenarios you want to do, because it's totally open-ended. Those visions are up to you as well. Your investigators have the freedom to be pretty much any profession, and this scenario can be adapted to any location or any time period as well. If you think you want to play this game, go over to Drivethrurpg and pick it up now in PDF form. It's 50% off, so it's only $1.25, I believe. It is definitely worth it. It comes in both a full color version and a printer-friendly version, which I really appreciate because I print off a lot of the supplements to read rather than reading them all in PDF. But yeah, go support the great folks over at
Zgrozy.
I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. All of their supplements also come with this pronunciation guide, how you can say it in a normal and a horror version as well, which is great. And yep, that's all for today. So if you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a like or subscribe to this. But I hope I'm introducing you to something new and interesting, and I will see you guys next time. All right, take it easy. Bye.